a soldier in the IDF's army about 15 years, and as a soldier I respect everybody as a human being, not as a liar.
My name is Yousef al Khattab. I live in the occupied Palestinian territories in the outskirts of Ramallah. The problem is really that quote-unquote Israel, what they like to call it, and Judaism is built with an artist rendering. That's their whole religion. It's an artist rendering. I mean, every day I look and I see a Masjid al-Aqsa, and I see the Gold Dome, which is the Sahra, and that's a masjid that's been there for over 1,200 years, just the structure itself. Every proof, as much as they dig here, all they find is Christian and Muslim artifacts in Jerusalem. I mean, to call Jewish people the ancient Hebrews, this is the biggest lie in itself.
If I want to check somebody in his clothes, in a blockade or something, and he should hide something, he's a suspect, and I have to arrest him to check his case or clothes if he have to hide. But if he don't have to hide anything, I can let him go free to work in Israel, no problem, because he's a good man. He's taking care of his family, his kids, and this is the normal way of life.
The true peace here in the Middle East is Islam and submission to God and to one true God, and living here in peace, or just even living in peace in general. Before 5 years ago, my family were Jews, believe it or not. My family, my wife and I and 4 kids, we Islam. Today, I live here as a Muslim, surrounded by the savage Arabs, the barbarians, as they make it sound in America. Alhamdulillah, we live in perfect peace. I have no gun. I've never had a problem with anyone, and that's what it's all about. The fact is that the Jews are greedy here, and they've stolen the land, and they don't even want to step back an inch.
But don't forget that we have war, real war, with hurts and wounded, Palestinians and Israeli. We took great chances to start more than several times peace process, but without good results. The final result were wounded and kills, bus explosion in the middle of Tel Aviv. This is no way.
Every day when I go through the checkpoints, the quote-unquote Israeli checkpoints, okay, I have an M16, which is American lease, pointed at me. The missiles they're killing my brothers and sisters in Gaza, in all over the West Bank, are from America. I mean, they're getting unbelievable amounts, billions of dollars from the United States, and basically they've waged a war on an unarmed people. I mean, if you call a Kalashnikov armed people compared to a Markova tank, that's ridiculous.
We must defend our citizens. The other side must realize to choose the good way, by peace. Are you going to take a break because of cigarette?
As I listened to this soldier, I couldn't help but imagine the horrors he's seen, the perhaps skeptical outlook on human nature he must have. Despite that, he still seemed so confident and relaxed.
The Jews have whitewashed America. They have them thinking that there is a concept of Israel. There's a 48, there's a 67, it's all Palestine. And the fact is, I mean, the Jews are saying the Arabs and the Muslims want to push us into the sea, but it's the Jews themselves that have driven the Palestinians into the Sea of Refugee status for over 57 years. I can tell you honestly, the Arabs don't have any, or the Muslims I should say better, have no intention of pushing the Jews into the sea. They just want to have their homes back. America portrays the Palestinians and the Muslims as being animals or savages or barbarians, but really we're just the same barbarians that your immune system is. We have no ill feelings towards Americans, but we know that America, the government, has been hijacked by the Jews, and over 200 and whatever, you have 50 million people in America today, are living, being choked to death. They don't have social services. They don't have medical assistance. Nothing. Just so the welfare state of quote-unquote Israel, the illegal state, and the dictatorship of Egypt, which is subservient to the Jews, the Pharaoh, Hosni Dracula Mubarak, so that they can live comfortable lifestyles together. But meanwhile, the whole world is suffering due to the fact. So even though that 17% of the whole world's population is using 70% of their resources, we still don't hate the American people because we know that they're under occupation by the Jews. But I personally believe that any law besides Allah's law is disbelief. But this takes time, and many people here lived in America. I grew up in America, so I've been polluted with democracy. We have people here that lived in Russia, they're polluted with communism. So it takes time and patience to get rid of these foreign ideologies.
I can tell you many reasons they use the Shaheed, what they name it in Arab. Shaheed is a person with bombs. He's going to a citizen in the middle of or in the center of Tel Aviv or Haifa in Area. No nation should understand or should agree to this abnormal life. But because of the democratic way, we give them food, we give them electricity, telecommunication, and works. They're working between us in peace way. But when they get home, when they get back home, they have a double thinking to treat us. Understand?
In Islam, we know that we have to stop. If the Jews ever submit and stop killing Muslims here, of course we don't want to kill any innocent Jewish person. And we know when to stop. We know that there's a line to stop doing it.
Do you think the bombing that took place in Tel Aviv, is that representative of what exactly?
I think that bombing is representation, as I told you before, of the immune system fighting disease. It sees a disease and it tries to strike back in any way that it can. Is there smarter ways to do it? Perhaps. Okay? But when you fight an unarmed people and you push people and they have nothing, then they have nothing to lose. We hope their intention was good when they did it. But if you want me to condemn them, I certainly won't. Well, I won't condemn, absolutely not.
We have to block them. We have to separate between the two peoples, the two nations. Let them eat their shits. Thank you.
Yousef al Khattab, and please don't add me to your no-fly list.
What I found most interesting about this interview is that he actually didn't value freedom or democracy. He wanted tyranny and oppression under Islam. I was raised thinking everyone yearned for freedom and democracy. But maybe not.